snack. Me and you gonna have a little chat about books. Hi guys! So I am here today to do a novella review, and I was actually sent this novella from the publisher, which is Unsung Stories, and this is The Arrival of Missives by Aliya Whiteley. I had heard great things about Aliya Whiteley's previous book, which is The Beauty. I'll put a picture up so you guys can see. You probably will recognise it because her other book has had a lot of acclaim generally, and I've seen it around a lot on YouTube, but this is her newest release. I believe it came out only last month, so definitely check it out if you haven't. I really enjoyed this, I have to say. I did take a little while getting to this, more than I would have liked, but when I did finally sit down and read this, I read it in one sitting pretty much. I took it on the train up to London with me, didn't quite finish it on the way into London, and on the way back I did. So I really enjoyed this, and it's a super quick read. It's only about 120 pages. What is this all about? It's hard to explain what this is about because it is kind of a genre-bending novella. We follow a young girl who is called Shirley, and she lives in this very remote, very small town, and more of a village I'd say, and is kind of cut off from most of the people and places around. She does go to the local school, but she has big dreams and she definitely wants to get out of this town and make something of her life. She has a vivid imagination. Shirley is someone who can quite easily come up with a story in her head that she can convince herself is true. And this is kind of what she does with the new man in town, Mr. Tiller. Mr. Tiller is the school teacher at the local school where she goes. Shirley has had an infatuation with him since he arrived in town not that long ago. Mr. Tiller is quite a mysterious young man. He does seem like someone who is quite closed off and people don't necessarily befriend him that easily. But Shirley has an idea that he is actually the man of her dreams and she wants to fall in love with him. She decides that not only does she want to escape the town and have something better, but she wants to do it with Mr. Tiller, until she realises a lot more about him and actually gets into some of his past with him that maybe he didn't want to bring up, and realises that he has a lot of secrets within him. Without giving any of the plot away, what I would say is that this is beautifully written. Aliya Whiteley can definitely write, and I definitely will be picking up her future books and future novellas because I really enjoyed her writing style, found it very, very easy to get into, and also quite beautiful and poignant at times, which was really, really great. As for the story itself, it's weird. It's definitely a weird story. You think that it's going to be one thing, and then it turns into something that I definitely didn't see coming, but was pretty interesting when it did. I certainly feel like this is a book that a lot of people are going to enjoy. I think it's a story that is interesting, has some weird, wacky elements, but also has a very human element to it, and it was quite easy to relate to Shirley, even though she is a little bit of a spoiled, infatuated child. At times, she's also quite considerate and well thought out at other times. So I think her motives were pure for most of the book, and I did like who she was and what she stood for in the end. Mr. Tiller, on the other hand, is a much more mysterious character. Getting to know him and getting to understand his motives and why he was in this village in the first place and what his past meant was really interesting. Definitely has a magical element to it, and that magical element kind of twists things completely around and turns it into something I didn't see coming. So the magical side of things is quite magical realism-esque. I would definitely say this falls under magical realism, but it is sort of a sci-fi magical realism crossover, I would say. Definitely one I would recommend. I actually gave this a 4 out of 5 stars in the end, so I really enjoyed this, and I would say if I can read a book in one sitting and be quite surprised by the ending and the way things turned out, it's a good read in my book. Plus, the writing was also very good. So 4 stars from me. Do let me know if you guys have read anything by Aliya Whiteley, or if you are interested in picking this one up, then definitely check out their website. I'll link Unsung Stories below so you can go and find it. Yeah, it's super short, super easy. Leave me your thoughts below. Thank you to them for sending it to me, and I will see you all in my next review. Bye!
Thank you for watching my video today. Go pick up a book, then come back and chat with me again.